Welcome to the Hurry Up, and we are not at Bank of America Stadium. We are at the practice facility of some little soccer team called Bayern Munich. Maybe you've heard of them. I'm Darin Gantt. This is Kassidy Hill, and we're cold.
Is this a little soccer team or is it a big soccer team?
It's one of the biggest soccer teams on the planet.
Do they play in the Premiership?
No, they play in the Bundesliga because we're in Germany right now. Maybe
that's
why you don't understand any of the words people are saying when we leave the hotel.
I will say I'm very impressed that this is a practice facility. This is really, really impressive.
Yeah.
It was a fun day for the Panthers.
Yeah, this is a good spot. Thanks to Bayern Munich for all their hospitality today. We got a lot of football to talk about. There's a game in a couple of days, and there's so much going on this week. I mean, we've lived a month in the last 4 days, it feels like. Bryce Young's going to be starting for the third week in a row. Dave Canales announced. Chuba Hubbard, oh, by the way, got a contract extension. He's going to be here through 2028. That was a continent ago. Yeah. Now we're in Germany. Here we are. And the Panthers are about to play a Giants team with a lot of guys they know really well.
A continent ago. You have a way with words. You are in
consider
the right
doing this for a living.
Chuba is such a big piece of this. And before we even get to the game, I think we do just need to spend a second here. Dave Canales has spoken so much about what he wants this team to be, what he wants the identity to be, what he wants this team to look like going forward. And Chuba Hubbard, it epitomizes every single part of that. That is a huge, huge foundational piece to get that extension done.
No question. When Dan Morgan took over as GM, the very first thing he did was extend Derek Brown's contract. That's a foundational piece on one side of the ball. Chuba Hubbard's the same thing on the other side of the ball. And it's because when you look at this team in OTAs back on another continent where it was much warmer and they all spoke our language, every day at the beginning of OTAs, they're out there running sprints. Who's in the front of the line?
Derek Brown and
Chuba Hubbard. That's why they are the guys the Carolina Panthers want to build around.
They won't have Derek Brown on Sunday, of course, but they will have Chuba Hubbard. And this is a Giants team that's so interesting because you have the Dexter Lawrence factor of it all, and then what happens if he's not on the field? What does that look like? I think we're going to see possibly another big game from Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, I think Chuba's got an opportunity. I mean, he's got an opportunity to do that every week because he runs with such intent. He runs with such physicality. And I think if there are X factors in this game, it's going to be along that offensive line because they got replacements up front again. Brady Christensen's going to start at left tackle again this week. Cade Mays at center. So if Dexter Lawrence is in the game, he's going to be across from Cade Mays. And Brady's going to have some other guy he knows a little bit about, and Brian Burns out there on the edge.
Yeah, I was about to say, what was his name? And a guy that a lot of this Panthers offense has gone against in practice. Bryce Young could never be hit by Brian Burns in practice, but he knows what it feels like when he's coming. He knows what it sounds like when he's coming. And familiarity goes both ways. Yeah. So Brian will be familiar as well, but it'll be interesting to see what that looks like with Brady Christensen taking on Brian Burns.
Speaking of familiar faces, even though we're in Munich, we're hanging out with cats like Luke Kuechly and Steve Smith. And, oh, by the way, there's Julius Peppers in a hotel lobby in Munich this morning. That's a thing I expected when I went to sleep on an airplane last night. You got to hang out with some of those guys earlier today.
I did. We got to do a lot of different things that the Panthers are doing here in Munich with fan activations and a pub that the Panthers have taken over, a huge fan fest in one of the city centers where they're doing live podcasts. So much fun. It took us about 25 minutes just to get downtown today, so that we were in the car, and it was me and another one of our social guys, and Luke Kuechly, Beeson, Julius Peppers, Steve Smith, and the stories they were telling just on that 20-minute ride. It felt like I was getting a peek behind the curtain, and it was really, really cool. And it's fun to see the fans interact with them and realize that the Panthers and these names are names that are international and that people love all over the world.
No doubt. You were in the car with a lot of Panthers history. Yeah. Today there's going to be Panthers history made on Sunday when they play in Germany for the very first time. We'll have all of it for you here at Panthers.com, video, social, and the written part that we do. She's Kassidy Hill. I'm European Darin, wearing a scarf. We're in Germany. We're freezing. We'll see you back in the States.
Bye.